Welcome team to another week closer to Stockholm. So I forgot the camera yesterday, but what we did yesterday is I'm racing twice in Stockholm, doing male solo and then mixed doubles as well on the Sunday. So Friday solo, Sunday doubles. But we did a simulation yesterday, me and my partner. We raced against another couple of guys from the gym here who are also racing out in Stockholm. We managed 57.25, which is 30 seconds quicker than what we did here last time. Slower than our Manchester time, which is fine. That's where we qualified, by the way, and we won the age group. Slower than there, but the average running pace here was quicker. We knocked it down to 4:08 pace, whereas in Manchester it was 4:12 pace. So a really good start to the week. Enjoyed it. Obviously drove a lot of stimulus into the body, although the run pace is fine for me. I tend to smash it more on the stations, you know. So forgot to film it. We move into day 2. So today is Tuesday. 2 hours on the bike, zone 2. Now, I can usually hold 200 watts in zone 2 on the bike, but it's absolutely boiling. Sweat is pouring off. So what happens? Core temperature rises, heart rate has to work harder to achieve the same output. So 200 watts is giving me about 146 beats per minute, where I should be at about 137, 136. So it's 10 beats higher. Have a look now what it is. So well into the threshold zone because I'm chatting away. But you can see the average is 200 watts for that first hour. So what I'm gonna do, take ego out, drop watts to about 185, allow heart rate to come down and give me the zone 2 effect, the zone 2 stimulus, which is what this session's all about. So yes, I can usually hold that 200 watts, but you've got to adapt to your surroundings, your circumstances. And today it's boiling, so the heart rate's higher. I don't want to go hard because tomorrow I'll be affected. So therefore dropping it down into that zone 2 for the next 1 hour. So that's the plan, guys. Tomorrow, got interval class in the morning, which is hard. Then just before lunch, we've got the watt hold, which is also going to be hard, of course, if the temperature remains high. So let's get this done and we'll see how we're feeling tomorrow. Morning. It is Wednesday morning and it is very, very early in the morning. Just struggled with a little bit of the sleep last night. Depending on when you're kind of viewing this, it is very, very hot here at the moment in the UK. Last night just didn't help with the heat, so didn't sleep too hot. So big session here this morning, so I just thought I'd get up and come and get it done. It is the 90-minute watt hold that I'm starting with now this morning. And then there'll be a little rest, but then I'm gonna jump straight into the intervals class with the rest of the gang here at the gym, which isn't the best ideally. However, I will put my main effort into this session here on the watt hold, because I do want to target, and it will be a challenge, 248 watts for the 90 minutes. So I've got plenty of calories and carbohydrates and fluids to get me through it. And then I will jump into the intervals class. Like I said, a little short break and then jump in. But I will tone it down there. Definitely. Just haven't got the space or time to fit it in anywhere later on, either lunchtime or even this evening. Just stuff going on, so won't be able to get it in. So gonna get it in here this morning. The good thing is, as you've seen, I've set up the bike right next to the door, and there is a nice breeze coming in, and it is cooler here this morning. So compared to yesterday's set, where it was the 2 hours in zone 2, despite it being warm, it's cooler conditions. So that's the setup for this morning, and 248 watts. So let's see how we go. A little bit nervous going into this one. This is going to be tough. So let's see how we do. I've got an hour left. I'm at 248 average. Let's go. Oosh. Wow, look, just before it drops. 90 minutes, 248 average. Heart rate well into that threshold zone. Hard that. Ooh, wow. Oh. Hard. Started noticing a drop off at 67 minutes, which is about right, really. Body can work up to about that amount of time before it starts shifting systems, needing fuel, although I did have a lot of fuel, but it just clicks over. And then the last 23, head down, grind, managed to average 248 watts for 90 minutes. Just really good when you set your mind to something, and weeks and weeks and months of consistency, and what most people would say a boring session. Just shows the progress you can make. Feeling strong on the bike there, and as I've said multiple times, that will and has transfer across into my aerobic output when I'm racing. Top session that. Like I said before, intervals this morning, I'm going to be taking it very easy, very easy. So just need to get a bit of fuel in now, get ready for the guys turning up. So because of the heat as well, estimated sweat loss there probably be over 1.5 litres, possibly push into 2 litres. So it's important to get the fluids back in, rehydrate, and if you didn't know, 2 litres of sweat loss equals 2 kilograms in body weight loss. So obviously it's only water, and I'll put it all back in and on, but just a little bit of information, it's quite interesting. But yeah, what hold session done. Next week will be the last big one. And then we'll reduce it down as we head in to Taper Town towards Stockholm, baby. Always a good day when these guys deliver. So what do we get in the box? Just to show you, just in case you're ever interested in purchasing some of the fuel hubs. So what you can see, right, this one here, herb crusted salmon with roasted new potatoes and pesto drizzle. It gives you the calories, as you can see, 459 calories, and it also gives you a little breakdown here of the nutritional information. And for anyone who is using MyFitnessPal, it gives you the barcode there, which can log straight into your MyFitnessPal. So let's just open it up. So there we go, that's what's inside the box. Obviously will probably look a little bit more appealing once it's all cooked, and well, it's already cooked, but once it's all warmed up.
What else have we got? We've got fish and chips, one of my personal favourites. There's another fish and chips. What's this one? That is the salmon pesto pasta with spinach and sun-dried tomatoes. Again, 492 calories, so less than 500 calories. And there is that one there. So one of the main reasons, or the main reason I use Fuel Hub, is because of the convenience of it. Just being, pretty busy, always on the go. It's really convenient to either just eat it straight out of the packet, which I do occasionally, or heat it up in 2, 3, 4 minutes. So yeah, very, very convenient. Obviously, all very, very healthy. The company prides itself in being like fresh, using top ingredients and stuff like that. Plenty of protein, plenty of healthy carbohydrates, nice sprinkle of vegetables in each of them as well. So convenience, taste, and just all around general healthy eating are some of the reasons why I use Fuel Hub. Yes, guys, so in the distance there, you can just see someone I'm just doing some work with today. That is Jen. We're down here at the track. It's a complete rest day for me today, as yesterday was a pretty big day. Feeling a little bit wiped out, so I'm listening to the body sensibly. But with Jen, and this might be relevant to yourself, just going over all the basics of trying to use the data in her favour. For example, her watch then was set to miles, so to track all her distance and pacing in miles, whereas we're working in kilometres when we're talking about pacing and that. So we just needed to make a quick adjustment in the watch. We also needed to just make sure in the Garmin Connect app, if you're using Garmin, that was all set to kilometres and not miles as well. And also just simplify the screen of your watch when you're doing a certain activity, just to make it easy to look at the data that you're interested in. So there's no point having things on your screen if you're not interested in tracking them. So with Jen today, we're just working on pacing as well. We're doing 1200 meter intervals with a 2-minute break. So just working on her pacing strategies. So it's important to stay consistent with all these paces and these interval sessions as well. But yeah, that is our task for this morning. Crazy. It's Friday, and it's Friday. And it's been a busy morning at Ace HQ. It's been a group training class, so we had Metcon this morning, followed by 2 personal training sessions, followed by the Metcon class again, followed by another personal training session. So that's like 5 hours back to back for me. So now I am quickly shooting home. I've got a few bits to pick up, and then I am back to the gym for one of the key sessions now. So the Friday hard sort of HYROX conditioning session is turning into one of the key sessions of the program as we lead into World Champs. So today me and the General, aka Rob, are going to go through a set inclusive of, so there's going to be a lot of running included in these key sessions, and it's all going to be in that fatigued state as well, just practicing the station work in between. So it's going to be run, sled push, run, sled pull, run 40 reps of burpee broad jumps, repeat times 2. Okay, so we'll repeat that twice. Then we go out for a run, and then we hit a farmer's carry. So that'll be 7. We'll hit a final run and then come in and we'll go through those 100 wall balls again. So all in total, it is 1k run, sled push, 1k run, sled pull, 1k run, 40 reps burpee broad jumps, 1k run, sled push, 1k run, sled pull, 1k run, 40 reps of burpee broad jumps, 1k run, 200 meter farmer's carry, 1k run, 100 wall balls. That is going to be what is on the menu for me and Rob. So that is going to be a very tough session. My goal pace for the runs is going to be sub 345. I would love to go 340, but as long as I'm sub 345, that'll be a big win for me. If it happens to go over, then it is what it is. However, that is the target. Yeah, I was feeling absolutely wiped out yesterday after the Wednesday sort of session and the sleep pattern and stuff like that. So big learning curve for me, that no more getting up silly early to get any sessions done. Just got to manage things a little bit better. So a mistake made and lesson definitely learned. Wow, that was very, very, very hard. Me and Rob just gunning it, as you saw there. You saw what it was, I've explained what it was. Let's have a look at the breakdown of how I managed that. So I was tracking the run pace because that's what I was interested in today. When you are, the benefit of running outside compared to a HYROX race, you can get the GPS going. So when you're doing your runs outside, you can see the pace you are running at. During a HYROX race, you're unable to do that. You don't actually know what pace you are running at. So you have to, well, I rely on heart rate. So making sure I'm working in those heart rate zones. So that's why I believe like getting all the data in terms of your heart rate and correlating that to the paces that you are running is important. So I know roughly what pace I'm running at without actually knowing the numbers because I base it off heart rate in a race. But the benefit of doing that today, running outside, is that you can see your pace. And as I said before the session, I wanted to try and hold at least sub 345 because running off the sleds is, well, for me, it's the hardest bits, the hardest pieces of a HYROX race. I usually struggle running off the sled push and also the farmer's carry. So I included both of those today in the session, 2 times on the sled and then once off the farmer's. Anyway, this is how it went down. I actually accumulated 9K of running because the K marker here and back is just slightly over. We did 8 runs, but it actually accumulated 9K. First run, or run number 1, 331 pace. Run number 2, 335 pace. Run number 3, 336. 338.
345, 344, 342, 343, 342, giving a total average of 340 pace. Now for me, that is very, very good. A session I did last week with Kyle on the previous video, I managed 338 pace, but that was running off the row and the ski, which in essence is easier to run off those elements compared to the sleds and burpees, in my opinion. And I run better off the ergs than I do off those exercises that we've done today. So to only add 2 seconds per kilometer, giving me a total average of 3 minutes 40 per K over the 9 kilometers, for me is very, very good. And with only one run at 3:45, everything else was below that 3:45 pace, which is good for me. Again, just looking at some stats, the total running time, 33 minutes 4 seconds, total elapsed time, so the total workout time, 59 minutes and 9 seconds. So a real good bit of high aerobic, jumping into that VO2 max work there, because my heart rate was pretty damn high in some periods of that. And again, well, you may or may not have seen just on the wall balls there, usually in a training session like this, I am able to go 100 unbroken. I've only ever done that once in a race, so it doesn't translate that well into a race for me. But I usually do 100 unbroken in the sessions. However, the last run today, coming into the wall balls, I decided to push it. I wanted to hold below 3:45 pace. So I knew coming in that I was going to be absolutely gassed going into the wall balls. So instead of trying to go for the 100, I broke it into 50, 30, 20, and that worked really well for me. I managed the 50, took that break, managed the 30, took that break, and finished with a 20. So it was really structured the way I did it. Obviously, all the time during the sessions now, all I'm thinking about is that race in Stockholm. And if I get into the wall balls and I'm neck and neck with someone, or I'm behind someone, all I'm going to do is graft as hard as I can and try and blast out that 100 if it kills me. But today it was very structured and I managed to get that 100. I don't know how long it took me, to be honest, but I imagine it was still under the 4-minute mark, which is a pretty good time. So that is session complete. In the gym here, we have got the ice bath up and running now. So I'm gonna get a shower, just rinse off. I am going to jump in the sauna. I'm going to sit in there, really get this core temperature nice and high. I am then going to again have a shower, just rinse off, and then I'm going to get in that ice bath I haven't been in it for a while, so I'm probably just going to do 3 minutes today, and I might not get the shoulders submerged either. I just go waist deep, really get these legs submerged to get some nice ice therapy or cold water therapy through the legs there. And then that will be that. Tomorrow is rest day. I'm very conscious now, very conscious indeed. I've been telling people the most important thing now is to just get to the start line, injury free. Now I still do have to push it next week. The session I've just done was the last key session of this week. Next week is another big week. These are the peak weeks. And I will go into a full HYROX simulation 1 week today. Again, that will be with Rob, because we're the ones competing out there from the gym in Sweden. So we're going to race head to head. So next week's a peak week also. I've got one more training day this week. That's going to be on Sunday. It will be a double day as well, but it'll all be light aerobic work, just building that base. So yeah, I will catch you right here in the gym on Sunday. there, that's just a nice strength circuit, a bit of functional work, but a bit of posterior chain work as well, just keeping that body strong. Later on, I'm coming back to the gym. I've got 2 hours of zone 2 on the bike. That is going to be kind of mid to low range zone 2. It's going to be very easy aerobic work. I'm not going to push it up to the 200 watts. I'm just going to keep it at whatever my heart rate suggests for zone 2. Feeling a little bit cooked, so I've got to be careful. I've got to be very careful. Next week, we also have like a big peak week, and that'll be the final one before we head into Taper Town, into World Champs. So, plan of action, I'm gonna have a quick feed up now. I've got the guys coming in at 8:30 for a strength and conditioning class. And then I've got a little bit of organisation and work to do, planning for the next couple of months, what we've got going on here at the gym. And then that'll be that, guys. So again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Hope you're enjoying things, and I will catch you next time.